She couldn't quite make out the girl's name, printed in small type below her photo. But the girl's face, well, her eyes stared right at her, it seemed, smiling shyly. A yearbook photo, perhaps. Remember me always, forever. The paper fluttered again, a pathetic flag rippling, weak. Someone's missing, she said. She tore her gaze away as Thomas untangled himself from her neck. He was smiling at her, his teeth so white. She pointed to the poster and he reached out and steadied it for her. Now she could read it. The girl had gone missing the summer before. How long had this paper been hanging here? She straightened her thin bra strap. She could be any of us. She could be me. No reward, though, he said, tapping the poster with a thick finger. Behind them, one of the guys hooted, and a peal of laughter echoed in the night. Thomas crinkled his nose. How do they expect anyone to care without a reward? The girl's eyes widened. Surely he was joking. This guy who just earlier at a crowded party had shamefacedly admitted he didn't know how to swim, who had seemed so crushed she was leaving in only a few days to go home. Oh, come on, he whispered, burying his face in her neck. No time for being sad. Not now. Maybe she was already found, she said, more to herself than him. Thomas muttered what sounded like a yes in her ear. His fingers snaked into her shorts, and she wondered how far they would go tonight. And where? Another gust of wind, and the missing poster freed itself from the post, whipped around the pier for an instant and butterflied into the darkness. The girl watched as it flitted to the ocean, wavered on the choppy surface. She closed her eyes, and when she opened them again, the paper had disappeared.
1. Allison. September 2015. You'll feel like a new woman. That's what Annie said. The perfect opportunity to reinvent myself. Annie was raving excitedly, brushing her hair away from her face as we sat outside on the patio of Chez Monsieur, a name that sounded way fancier than the actual restaurant. Perhaps that was why I was skeptical of her enthusiasm. I was uncomfortable, distracted by the sucking sound that came each time I pulled my forearms off the sticky plastic tablecloth. And that loaded term, new woman. Was Annie suggesting that I was damaged? Perhaps I was skeptical of everything. Nothing worked out to be perfect. There was no perfect, no happy ever after. No happy ever, it seemed. Still, my younger sister was almost the only thing I had left. So I nodded, sipping my water from a filmy glass with only a few chips of ice, still withstanding the late summer Philadelphia sun. The off-season at the beach, she said wistfully, staring off into our very un-beach-like surroundings as a taxi driver honked his horn and tossed a select finger at another driver trying to back into a space on the narrow street. It's a great opportunity to relax, recoup, recover. She smiled reassuringly. And the house, oh, Allison, it's divine. You won't even believe it. I tried not to roll my eyes at my sister's undying optimism. And I'm sure these heavenly people are just going to hand me over the keys, right? Without even checking up on my background? I asked. A large cumulus cloud whipped over the sun, dimming the patio and turning the strong wind cold. An omen, my mom would say, but I quickly dismissed it. No, no, no. Annie leaned forward, and I caught my reflection in her large lenses. A hunched-over, thin waif of a person with hair too long for 40. Ever since I'd gone off-air, I'd let it grow past my shoulders, though vainly I still dyed it every 5 weeks. I could never stand the gray roots. I sat up straighter, adjusted my chair. Annie was still going. Like I said, my friend Sharon knows the couple really well.